the finish. It's really the finish for me. Do I even need clips? I don't think I need clips. I think we can just do a little ear tuck today. Hey my girlies, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a full face of SAIE Beauty. I feel like when I first tried SAIE, it was giving very much no makeup, fresh glam. But now I feel like they've upgraded a little bit and I want to see what the face is giving. Plus, it's springtime. I feel like there's no better time than to do a full face of SAIE. SAIE do glowy skin so well. Even though I have more normal to dry skin, I just feel like a soft matte just looks so much more clean. But I feel like I'm stepping into my glowy skin era. I don't know what it is. Let me know what you guys like. What kind of finish do you guys vibe with? Glowy, soft matte, matte, full matte? Like, what's the vibes? But anyways, let's get into it. So I have just moisturized, did my brows. Do not comment on the brows, guys. I literally have finished my brow pencil, so we're kind of like trying to figure out something new. So that's what it is. But anyways, let's get into a base. So I do have both of their glowy skin super gels. These are so popular for the glowy skin girlies. I never really saw the hype because, again, it's giving soft matte on my end. This is like a really pretty base to put underneath makeup, underneath glam, to just give you that glow. So that is Star Glow there, which is more of a lighter shade, and then we have Sun Glow, which is a deeper shade for more like deeper skin tones. I do think you can use both. I haven't even used this, guys. I bought this and never used it. I'm literally having to use it for the first time. I do feel like you can use both, but of course I feel like they kind of flatter different skin tones. So this is Star Glow, super pretty, and then this is Sun Glow, which, as you guys can see, it kind of melted into my hand and is much more complementary to like my skin tone or deeper skin tone. I'm gonna go in with Sun Glow just because I feel like this is the one that works. And why is this like not coming out? Okay, there we go. I use a little bit of this one. I'm just gonna rub this all in. Look at that, you guys. That is just so gorgeous. Look at that glow. Now we're going to go into the base. I actually have two shades of the Glowy Super Skin Foundation. I have the shade 29 and 30. I don't know if you guys can you guys hear that? They are super liquidy, like super liquidy. So this one is 29, this one is 30. I don't know how it's coming up on camera, but they are very close in shade. I believe 30 is a little bit more neutral red, and I think 29 is a little bit more orange tone, but not super orange, but more neutral orange. What do you guys think? I think 30, do you know what? I think I can get away with both, but I think just because on the safe side, I'll just go with the one that's a little bit darker. These do have 85% of skincare ingredients, hyaluronic acid, great for hydrating, but it does lean for more of a like lightweight makeup look. So it's definitely giving lightweight to like medium buildable coverage. I'm gonna swatch actually. This is, oh, okay. Now that I put it on my skin, I'm like, that's light. That is 29. I feel like on my face 30 looks lighter, but I promise you guys it's like a little bit more deeper. They both are pretty light. I think I can get away with them, but I think a deeper shade would definitely be something I'm more comfortable with. But we're still gonna work it and get it together. So I think I'm gonna go with 30, just seeing as it's deeper, and get this together. So I think I'm gonna do Pump. I'm just gonna tap this in. I'm just using my regular foundation brush from Amazon. As always, I'll link everything below. And immediately the glow, she's already popping out like, oh, very pretty. It's definitely giving medium and very lightweight. It feels very light on the skin, but it definitely covers a nice amount. And I'm just gonna blend over the swatches because I mean they're not that, you know, far apart. So you know, sometimes you get glowy foundations and it almost feels like your skin is like beaming. It is hydrating and it is glowy, but it's very like, it sinks into the skin so softly. Like it just looks very soft. And I guess because it's like 85% skincare, that is probably a big part of it. But it just, you guys can see how it's like settling into my skin. Like it just is sinking in. It's not just sitting on top. It's like kind of marrying my skin, which I love. So that's the foundation all blended. I think it looks so good. Like, it has such a natural finish but has such a pretty glow. It's giving everything it needs to give, and definitely giving glowy skin. So you guys already know I'm gonna throw on a lash, but I don't know, should I put a shimmer on the eye? I do have these glow sculpts by SAIE. I have the whole collection actually. Thinking to do a little bronzy vibe on the lid. I do need some primer. I actually need a new primer because I'm starting to feel like this primer base isn't doing the job. We're just gonna have to use what we got, honey. So I'm gonna put a tiny bit of primer on. I think I'm just going to do some brown in the crease and then go with that glow product on the lid. Real simple, real simple. It's like a cream, but it's like really soft, and I'm going to put this on my lid. Not too much, just enough to where like the colour shows. So something super simple, but it kind of elevates the eye a little bit. Let's go into concealer. So I actually have two concealers now. So I do have the first concealer, which is the Hydra Beam concealer. I like these on more natural days, or I also like using these as a base under a concealer if I want something super glowy. And I also have the newer concealer, which is the Slip Tint concealer. This is definitely more coverage, much thicker. It's super soft, super smooth. So we're going to do a little combo today. I think I'm going to use this as a base and then go on top, and you guys will see what I mean. This is actually in the shade 8. I believe I have 7.5 as well, but they're kind of close together, so I kind of just go between both of them. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit down, and this is very close to my skin tone, so I don't know if you guys can even barely see that go on. Just give our under eyes a bit of a base. I do want to go for a glowy look today, so anything that has glow we're going with. So that's kind of given us a nice blank canvas for concealer to go on, and you guys can see it's super glowy and hydrating. It's just so gorgeous. Like, it feels so smooth and soft. Like, I don't even know if you guys can tell on camera how smooth it just glides. It like glides. It's so pretty. So I'm just gonna apply my concealer how I usually would. I always angle it off at the edges. Bronzer, love, love, love. These are the Sun Melt bronzers by SAIE. I think these are like their most like known for products. I don't know anyone who's tried this that doesn't love it. It's so lovely. I have both dark shades. I just felt like I can't choose. I remember I ordered one and I wanted the other one. I was like, do you know what, I should just order them together because girl. So this is dark bronze. It's much more of a cool toned cream. Can kind of double as a contour, but it does have a nice warmth. And then we also have a deep bronze, which is much more warm toned. Ooh. Just so you guys can see, much more warm toned. So that is much more warmer on the red side. This is much more cooler and has more depth. I'm actually just gonna carve out my nose contour, and then I will do the actual bronzing after, just because the way I like to apply it and the brush I like to use is a little bit not heavy duty, but you guys will see. So now I'm just gonna go with my beauty sponge and start tapping this in. Kind of need a small mirror. That blended in so nicely. I feel like I need a bit more coverage though, so I'm gonna go in a little bit more. Let's see if I can really build coverage. I'm gonna have to add to the other side just to balance it out, but you guys see the difference in coverage. So definitely say it's medium buildable. I probably should have put my hair in a ponytail at this point because I feel like I keep touching it, which is annoying, but the glow of this makeup is gorgeous. I also have SAIE brushes for bronzer though. I specifically like to use this one. This is called the base brush. Perfect for applying bronzer. I am going to use a little bit of a brush just to kind of place it first. I'm kind of just going to place where I want my bronzer to be, just so I have somewhere to kind of like blend into. So now I'm going to go in with the deeper bronze. I'm going to go straight in with my brush, just like that. And I'm now going to bronze the skin and just kind of mix it into kind of what I like and kind of customize it. And just ooh, pop this on. And this is such a gorgeous bronzer, like it just looks so good. I'll do the same to the side. The finish, it's really the finish for me. I'm gonna go back into the deeper cooler shade just to calm that down, but that is so pretty. Can we take a second to just appreciate that bronzer? Like, I could have probably left that concealer under my eyes for much longer than I did because it just blended in so seamlessly. For blush, I actually have one of the liquid blushes, but I also showed you guys some of these earlier. These are the Glow Sculpt Highlight Blush like product. So they're kind of like a glowy, creamy, I wouldn't call it a powder, kind of like a matte cream. I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of the vibe it gives. And I do have all the shades. So that one was Bronze Glow, this one is Mauve Glow, so it's more of a pinky tone. I'm not really sure. I think I want to put this on last, so I'm just going to go in with the liquid blush because I'm more used to that. This is the liquid blush in Spicy. It's a very like burnt orange type of blush that looks great on deeper skin tones. I'm just going to do a few here. So I also do have another SAIE brush. This is the double-ended brush. I love this for cream blush. It's so good. But I want to use this for this liquid blush today because I just feel like with a sponge, SAIE's products are very like light, glowy. They blend out really quickly. I think a sponge will pick up too much of the pigment. And disperse this in. And that blended so quickly, like literally. So I might have to go in with something else because I just don't see much of that. I think maybe it's too close to my skin tone. So I'm going to go into this shade, which is called Peach Glow, of the highlight kind of like blush colors. That kind of gives anything. Okay, that definitely gives more highlighter. I feel like we ended up with a lot of glow and not much color payoff, which I love because I wanted a glowy look, but I do love a bit of blush. So if anything, we might have to go in with like maybe a powder blush. I'm gonna go ahead and just set this under eyes. So the only SAIE powder I have is this airbrush setting powder. This is in the shade Translucent Deep. So this is what it gives. I could use it. It's kind of neutral, but that's what scares me because I don't want my under eyes to look too cool. I'm gonna try a tiny bit. That looks so pretty. I think the best powder to use here would be my Laura Mercier. Of course, if I had the lighter SAIE powder, I would have just used that. But I need that little bit of brightness because I feel like it's just made my overall face kind of look a bit too muted. Do you guys see the difference with that brighter powder? It kind of just elevated it a little bit more. I use that Translucent Deep shade and go on my forehead. At this point, I'm going to go back in with my bronzer brush and just reinstate. Is that a word? Reinstate or like reinforce that bronzer. I'm just going to go in with this NARS blush, which you guys already know. I'm going to use my Fix Plus and I'm going to use my e.l.f. as well. I feel like now that I've put my powder and stuff, it's kind of like muted my complexion. It looks really nice because blended nicely together. The finish is nice. I just think I'm missing like my pop out, which is my bronzer, my blush. Like those are my things. So I'm actually going to go back in with the bronzer and just to like make that more of like a statement. So I'm just going to go back on the cheeks, more of a statement. I think with these bronzers, you've got to be really careful about not making them too matte. Because I feel like the real beauty of this product is like the finish. I'm over here acting like I don't have free will. I'm going to go with this KVD Beauty Good Apple Blush Duo. Do you see how blush makes such a difference to like your overall complexion and like your makeup? I was needing that blush. I was needing that bronze to just pop out. It just makes such a difference. So I'm just gonna set that blush a tiny bit. Literally just gonna barely go over this powder and just set it a little bit. Barely, because I kind of want it to match the energy of the bronzer. Okay, so for lips, I actually don't have any say, so we're just gonna freestyle this. I do know they have lip liners, but of course you guys know the struggle of getting a good lip liner as a black girl, much less a dark skinned black girl. Is a whole mission. So no lip liner I would particularly love. I probably could have worn maybe one of them, but nothing that I would like wear, you know what I mean? And then for lip gloss today, I'm actually going to go into this Kiko lip gloss in the shade 19. This kind of reminds me of the Dior 013 gloss that I have, but less milky, less cool. Okay guys, so this is the finished makeup look. I honestly, okay, my thoughts on this fullish, should we say fullish face of SAIE? Most of it, it's just the lips and I added blush and stuff, but let's talk about it. Let's actually talk about this full face of SAIE. I have thoughts. Overall, I think the face looks gorge, very flawless. I think SAIE do lightweight, clean makeup so well. Their products give that, so 10 for that. Do you know what? When I look at my face, I just feel like it's summer. I feel like it's summer. This gives holiday makeup, summer makeup to me. Just the finish, the overall look, the glow, that's just what it gives to me. I prefer the Sun Glow Primer just because it complements my skin more. I think the Star Glow is definitely something that can work, but it's light. And if I have two options, I'm gonna use the Sun Glow. Especially if you're someone that wants a glowy makeup look, but let's say you have more normal to dry skin. Sometimes you need something to kind of like, just kind of give you that extra boost. And that's definitely a product that will give that. The foundation, very nice. Very nice. I kind of was almost a bit shook because sometimes, that's what I say, sometimes you gotta dig deep into what you already have in your collection because you get so distracted by new releases or you just have certain favorites and you don't even realize you have some gems. Okay, I was sitting on some gems. Foundation is gorgeous. It looks really nice. I would love to get a darker shade just to kind of see what that would give, but I do feel like my shade where I am right now, it still looks really good. Lip tint concealer, I think this concealer is so slept on. I don't see many people using it, or maybe it's the people on my FYP or my pages that I follow, but so lovely. I don't know, do you know what, I think it's a combination of the applicator, the doe foot, and the formula, but it just goes on so smooth and so soft. Blends out gorgeously. Definitely buildable. I think I showed you guys, like, once you put the first layer on, if you want to go on top of another layer, it's not just going to sink in, it's going to build, which is nice. This is one of the products from SAIE that I feel like they are giving the girls a little bit more coverage. This powder is just, I think it's the shade that throws me off because the actual finish of the powder is really nice. When I first put it under my eyes, I was very impressed. It looked really, really good, especially with the concealer combo I put on. But I just think the shade is, it kind of comes off, I think the shade comes off a little bit grey on the skin. Even when I was kind of setting like around my mouth and my jawline with this, it just looked a little bit off. Like, it just made my face look a little bit more, it just made my face look a little, can I say ashy? I just feel like my skin didn't have the nice like warmth, glowy. It just, I don't know, it was like muting me down. It was like washing me out. That's the right kind of word. It just washes me out. The formula is really nice. I don't love the shade. I don't love the shade. Bronzers, first of all, I spoke about this on TikTok. You gotta be so careful when you close these because if you close them wrong, they will be stuck. The glow that these give is top tier. I have yet to come across a product that does what this does. Like, this is so good. I think these are one of their most like viral products, and it's for a reason. The glow is gorgeous. I wouldn't set them with powder just because it takes away the beauty of the product and how it looks on the skin. It just takes away the beauty. I would just use it by itself, which is why I feel like the real beauty of these is when you have a very light makeup look or like, you know, summer, spring, light, clean glam. It looks the best. I think with a full face of glam, it's really hard. I've tried using these with a full face of glam and it's just not, the glow is too much for like the full cut. It's just not gonna work. So this is definitely for more of a light clean makeup days, but I just think they look the best when they have their time to shine. Like, you gotta give them their time to shine. You can't put products on top of that. It's just not gonna, like, they are very much main character. It's giving Beyonce. This little one right here, we have a bit of a problem because I think it had so much potential, but because it just doesn't show up much on my skin, it's just, it kind of falls flat. This is an orange shade which should show up. I have blushes like this kind of shade and they do show up. It's just not enough pigment in here, and for this to be one of their deeper shades, we need an extension shade range. Like, this ain't this, no. For to have this kind of bronzer right in your collection, this can't be your deepest blush if the pigment is not there. I feel like if someone goes to buy a foundation from a brand, they should be able to find everything else that matches. They should be able to find a concealer, a blush, a bronzer. They shouldn't be left out. They shouldn't feel like, oh, I can only find a foundation, but this brand doesn't have a blush for me. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, if you're gonna come out with deep shades, go deep with everything else. You can't now, oh, we're only gonna go up to this. I just don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's a nice experience for anyone to have to feel like, oh, I can only buy this but I can't buy that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I feel like, let's get back in the lab. We can get deeper, we can do a bit more. So I think I've discussed everything at this point. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I do have my favorites, like the bronzer, and I think the concealer has to be like my top 2 out of the products I do have, and the foundation, how could I forget? Those would have to be my top 3. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a nice thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a minute.